John Eichelsheim for Boating New Zealand magazine. Today we're looking at a couple of new Assault ribs, the larger 610 and the smaller Vesta 380. Now both of these boats have new Yamaha engines, new 4-strokes. The bigger boat has got the new 90 horsepower and the smaller 380 has the new 25 horsepower, which has some interesting features that we'll talk about a bit later in this video. This is the Assault 610. It's a well-priced rib. It has PVC tubes, which are a little bit cheaper to make, but very hard wearing nonetheless. The layout is quite open, so there's plenty of room in the boat, you know, and quite a versatile layout too. You've got a double seat here behind the helm. Behind that again is a full width bench seat with some storage underneath, a moulded console, a seat in front of that, quite sort of regular, quite a basic layout, and forward again there's a moulded compartment where you can keep your anchor and that kind of thing. It has a simple arch. In this case it just has the riding light on the top and of course the running lights as well, but you could use that as a tow point or for other things as well. The key thing with this particular boat has got the new 90 horsepower Yamaha on there. It's a 4-stroke, 1.8 litre, quite a grunty engine and certainly a good match for this vessel. So this boat performs quite nicely even with 90 horsepower, and you might want to put more horsepower on than that, but this engine, large block engine, it really pushes it along very well. The boat rides quite flat underway, and that's fairly usual for a rib, and you know, you can crank it into a corner pretty much as hard as you like and she'll ride pretty level all the way around. The controls are nice and light once the engine's trimmed properly, and the throttle etc has been properly rigged, so there's none of the tightness that you sometimes get with this type of installation. So yeah, it's a very pleasant boat to drive. So this is the Vesta 380. It's a much simpler boat, not a heck of a lot to it, but a versatile little boat that could be a good tender or a small fishing boat. It could be a family fun boat. With this particular engine on it, it goes very well. That's got lots of grunt for a 25 horsepower. Very simple seating system, just a couple of bench seats, a simple tote tank, a little locker in the front to put the anchor, and that's pretty much all there is to it. But you know, you can have an awful lot of fun in a boat like this. The Assault Vesta 380 is a fun boat to drive. It rides softly and seems pretty dry as well. The new 25 horsepower Yamaha F25 is a good match for this rib. I'd like to introduce Hugh Stewart from Yamaha Motor New Zealand. He's the marine technical expert. We've just experienced two new Yamaha engines, a new 90 horsepower 4-stroke and a new 25 horsepower 4-stroke, both very impressive. There's quite a few things about the 90 that sort of make it different from the motor that sort of it's going to replace.
The 90 is actually the new F90, bigger cubic capacity than the previous F80, F100.
So Hugh, what's the advantage of a bigger capacity engine?
It's pulling the horsepower out in a more relaxed fashion. The actual horsepower coming out is actually spread over through that capacity.
If I have it right, the last sort of generation engine was a 1.5 litre block, and this is a 1.8 litre?
Yeah, it's a big difference. Weight-wise, the previous engine did run a double overhead cam. Yamaha have moved to using high-tech metals and more resin composite engine tray, lighter top cowling, and have actually made quite a few changes right throughout the engine.
Now that seems to be the trend sort of across the board with Yamaha, doesn't it, Hugh? The engines are becoming lighter and lighter, and you know, that was in the early days, that was one of the criticisms of 4-strokes, was they were much heavier than 2-stroke engines, but that's no longer the case across the board, is it?
No, it isn't. It is really, really good because the 4-strokes are coming more into line weight-wise versus 2-stroke in the earlier times.
Well, that might be a really good lead into the F25, because that is a really lightweight 4-stroke unit, isn't it?
Yeah, the F25, it's a fantastic unit. It's 10 kgs lighter than our previous F25, and it's just 9 kgs heavier than our current 2-stroke 25. You haven't got that huge amount of weight hanging over the back end, and it's, you know, because it's actually right on the stern of the boat, 10 kgs does make a big, big difference. And also, it makes the boat easier to push because you're not actually digging the hole for a start. You know, not such a big hole, let's put it that way.
The other thing I noticed driving that little Assault rib with the 25 on it was A, that the motor was really quiet, but also very responsive to the throttle. But secondly, it's got a special feature that I think trout fishers in particular would find very useful.
Yes, it's actually got a variable troll. Once you're in gear, you can actually adjust the troll speed from idle down to 750 RPM and up to 1050 RPM, so you can actually purposely set your troll speed to suit the conditions of the day. So for lake trolling, just amazing.
Well, that's brilliant. Thank you, Hugh. And a couple of very interesting new engines from Yamaha, which I suspect we're going to see a lot more of on the water in coming years. So we've had a fun day in the Assault ribs, both very well priced, lots of fun to play with the two new Yamaha engines. Very impressive performance for both of them, in fact, but especially the 90 horsepower, which really pushes that boat along very nicely indeed. Lots of fun, nothing like a rib if you want a comfortable ride. John Eichelsheim from Boating New Zealand. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more of these videos, please subscribe to our channel.